Hey guys, what's up? We got some pretty great news today. We have the final new Zenet card revealed in Glorious Victors. I'm honestly pretty excited because I've been waiting for this card for a while. Even though Zenet isn't that great of an archetype, it's still pretty cool. I like the aesthetic design of this archetype a lot. We have their final new card revealed, and it's a spell card called A Journey Back to Light Zenet. Now, we already knew what this card would look like just based on the Konami TCG reveal for Glorious Victors. On their website, they showed us 3 Zenet cards, and this was one of the cards even though we didn't know what this card was gonna do. Now, this new spell card's honestly really cool, even though it's not what I wanted for Zenet. Depending on how you want to deck build, this card can be a really great starter, but it can also be really bad as well. We'll talk about it really quickly and I'll show you guys a combo and how I think you should actually want to use this card. So basically what this card will let you do is show normal monsters from your hand, deck, face of field, and or grave, and then you get to apply one of these effects. Also, if you show a normal monster in your hand, you get to draw a card. If you show 2 normal monsters, you get to special summon a non-fusion effect monster from your extra deck as a normal monster card. If you show your opponent 3, you get to special summon a Zenet monster from your deck, or you get to summon a normal monster from your grave. Now, if you only had to reveal 2 normal monsters to summon a Zenet monster from your deck, this card would be amazing. This card would basically just be E-Tilly and another amazing starter for this deck, which would be really helpful. As it stands right now, Zenet really can't be played as a pure deck because they don't have enough starter cards. It honestly would have been so great if you didn't have to play 3 normal monsters for the E-Telly. If this card was just another starter, that would have been so nice. If you guys have never played Zenet before, they have a really great starter card called Nefertari. Nefertari is really great because the card will let you set 2 Zenet spells from your deck, which is amazing because it can't get hit by Drone Lockbird. It also sends itself to the grave as a cost, so you can't activate Effect Veiler or Imperm either. So Nefertari is really great, and it would have been so awesome to summon the card from the deck off this if you only had to reveal 2 normal monsters. Having to reveal 3 is so bad as a starter. Nobody wants to play 3 vanilla bricks as a starter in their deck in 2026. Konami's tried to do this in the past with Blue Eyes when they made Kaibaman the Legend. Kaibaman the Legend in theory is a really great card because it has a really nice effect to summon a Blue Eyes from your deck, and it also has a grave effect. The card can also get you a Rhoda for a Blue Eyes card when it's in the grave and you banish it. Now, all the competitive Blue Eyes builds don't play Kaibaman the Legend just because it's too many bricks. This is the same problem with the new Zenet spell card. Nobody wants to play 3 normal monsters in their deck just for the E-Telly effect. So unfortunately, in a competitive Zenet deck, you're not going to use this card as a starter because it's too many bricks. But this card can be a decent extender. I'll show you guys in a combo. What this card does is it makes the other main deck monster actually decent and playable now. Zenet have 2 main deck monsters, it's Nefertari and another one I don't remember the card's name. What Nefertari does is it lets you set Zenet spell cards from your deck, and the other main deck monster does the exact same except for trap cards. Before this new spell card, the other main deck monster was pretty much unplayable. Now with the new spell card to summon it from your deck, the card is actually usable. Now I'm gonna show you guys a really quick 1 card Zenet combo if you want to use the new spell card, A Journey Back to Light. I'll also show you guys a deck list at the end because whenever I post a combo video, people always ask for a deck list. But right now we're gonna take a look at the combo first. So for this Zenet combo, you're only going to need 1 card in your hand. This is going to be a Nefertari starter. You're going to normal summon Nefertari from your hand and activate this card's effect. You're going to send this card to the grave and show 2 normal monsters to your opponent from your deck. So for my example, I'm going to show my opponent Blue Eyes White Dragon and Driver. The normal monsters that you show your opponent don't have to be these 2, but these are my favorite ones. Basically, if you run Driver, you get to use Gamma as well, which is a really great hand trap. And Blue Eyes White Dragon is one of the best ones because this card is really strong but also has a very high level. That's really important for a couple of the Zenet cards because they have a minimum attack requirement. You guys will see what I mean later. So after you show your opponent 2 normal monsters from your deck, you're going to set a copy of Parok and Imharu. Now you're going to activate your set Imharu and you're going to activate your face down Parok. Now you get to add 1 Zenet monster from your deck to your hand, so you're going to add a copy of Sphinx here. You're going to activate the effect of Sphinx here and discard this card from your hand. Now you get to add any Zenet card from your deck to your hand, so now you're going to add a copy of the new spell card. After you discard Sphinx from your hand, this is going to trigger the grave effect of Parok. You get to banish this card from your grave to summon Blue Eyes White Ultimate Dragon from your extra deck and treat it as a normal monster. This is going to be incredibly important because this is where you're going to get your 3rd normal monster. Now because you summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, you're going to activate the other effect of Imharu. Now you get to draw 1 card from your deck. Now normally people would draw a card here, but I'm just going to add this Fuwalis to my hand. We're just going to use this Fuwalis as a placeholder for my draw because I don't want to draw an extender here. Obviously if I draw a good card here, I'm going to use it in my combo, but I don't want to make my combo better. Every time I show you guys one of these combo guide tutorials, I want to show you guys what you get every time bare minimum. So we're just going to pretend I drew this Fuwalis as my draw. You're going to activate Journey here and show your opponent Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and 2 normal monsters in your deck. So now you get to summon Zenet Prophet Enema Top from your deck. Now this guy got a crazy name, so I probably said it wrong, which is why I liked it better when I didn't have to run the card. So I might have said it wrong, just FYI. So now on summon, you're going to activate the effect of Enema Top and you're going to send this card to the grave. Now you get to take 2 Zenet trap cards and set the cards to your field. So we're going to take Thunderfall and Cataract and set those cards. Now there is another trap card, but that one's honestly really bad. Cataract is the best trap card in this deck, so you always want to set that one, and Thunderfall to spell or trap negate, which is always nice to have. Now you're going to activate the other effect of the field spell Amaru, and now you get to ritual summon. You get to do so by sending normal monsters from your deck to the grave to ritual summon a monster in your hand or grave. You're going to send Blue Eyes White Dragon and Driver from your deck to the grave so you can ritual summon your Sphinx. Now you also get to take one of your normal monsters in your grave and equip it onto your Sphinx, which is really important. So you're going to take your Blue Eyes White Dragon in your grave and equip the card onto Sphinx. The reason why this is really important is because when Sphinx is equipped with a card, it will become a Towers. It also has another effect where you get to send a face-up normal monster card to the grave to Book of Moon all monsters your opponent controls. So at this point, you're going to end your turn here, and your board's honestly pretty good. You have Sphinx who's the Towers, and you also have the Book of Moon effect whenever you want. You have Cataract and Thunderfall, so you also have another interruption, and you have a spell and trap negate. Cataract also has a really nice effect in the grave that we'll talk about after. You also have the grave effect of Nefertari as well. So now as soon as your opponent's turn starts, you're going to activate the effect of Nefertari. You're going to banish this card from your grave to equip your other normal monster onto your Sphinx. Now you really want to do this as soon as possible. The reason why is because when you activate the effect of Sphinx to send your Blue Eyes White Dragon to the grave, the card won't be equipped anymore. That means if you don't use the effect of Nefertari to equip your other normal monster in your grave onto your Sphinx, it won't be a Towers anymore. You always want to protect the card as soon as possible. So now when your opponent has a monster or any monsters on the field you want to Book of Moon, you're going to activate the effect of Sphinx. You're going to send your Blue Eyes White Dragon to the grave to Book of Moon all of them. Afterwards, Sphinx will let you special summon one normal monster from your grave. So now you get to summon your Blue Eyes White Dragon from the grave, and this is going to trigger the effect of the field spell one more time. Because you summoned a normal monster to your field, you get to draw one card. So we're just going to add another copy of Wallace to my hand. Now you also have your face down Thunderfall and Cataract you can activate whenever you want. When your opponent would activate a spell or trap, you get to negate that with Thunderfall. Cataract's really cool though because this card will let you choose main monster zones your opponent controls up to the amount of normal monsters and Zenet rituals you control. You get to negate the first monster effect that activates in any of those zones. So now you have Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and your Sphinx. Because Ultimate Dragon is treated as a normal monster, now you get to pick 3 zones. That's honestly really great because that's triple monster effect negate. Now you can only negate monster effects on the field, but that's still pretty nice. Also, Cataract has another effect in the grave you get to activate as well. By banishing this card from the grave, you get to target one monster your opponent controls and you get to send that card to the grave. The total attack of all normal monster cards you control has to be greater than 3000, but because Ultimate Dragon is treated as a normal monster, you always get to activate this effect. That's honestly really great, and that's why Cataract is so strong. A lot of the time when a trap card has a grave effect, Konami doesn't let you activate it in the same turn, but for some reason they let you activate both effects of the trap card in the same turn, which is great. So for a 1-card combo, this is honestly really cool and you get a ton of interaction. You get a spell and trap negate, you get a Book of Moon, and you also have a Towers. You get the double Cataract, so you get to negate multiple monster effects on the field and you get to send one to the grave. Oh yeah, you also get 2 draws as well, so you can draw some pretty nice hand traps here if you're lucky. If not, you're gonna be fine. So I just thought I'd show you guys this combo because I know a lot of people are talking about the new spell card as a starter. In my opinion, I think the card's honestly a really bad starter because I don't think you ever want to play 3 vanillas. I think if you want to run the card, you always want to play the card as an extender in a combo like this. But you guys can do whatever you want, it's honestly up to you. I'm not the person who tells you guys what to do, I'm just the person who makes the combos. So now that I showed you guys this combo, I'll show you guys my deck list and then we'll say goodbye. So here's my Zenet deck list for people who wanted to see it, and as you guys can tell, I'm playing Pumpkin Zenet. I honestly really wanted to play Zenet pure, but you can't do that in this deck. It's honestly just impossible to play this deck pure, which makes me really sad. I gave it a try to play this deck pure, but you really have to run the pumpkin cards because they have great synergy together. They give you a lot of starters and some very nice extenders as well. It's honestly a really big shame that the new spell card can't be a starter for them unless you play 3 bricks in your deck. It's also additional bricks, not even the bricks that you're already playing. This archetype has 3 ritual monsters, but I'm only playing Sphinx. The other 2 are bricks and they're honestly not that great of cards. They also have another trap card as well, but that card's honestly pretty bad. It's honestly crazy to me that a ritual archetype has 3 trap cards. Ritual archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are naturally really bricky, so having this many trap cards is no good. This deck has 1 good main deck effect monster and 1 good ritual monster. They have a couple decent spell cards as well, but the rest of them are just pretty junk. This is why I think the new spell card really should have been a starter card without having to play that many normal monster bricks. It would have given Zenet a really nice boost because then I could try to play the deck as a pure deck. It would have been really nice because even though you have so many different starters in this deck in Zenet, they're kind of awkward if you open different cards. For example, if you open Sphinx and Nefertari, that's still full combo and it's really good. But if you open Parok as your starter, it gets pretty awkward. Because you start the combo with Parok, you have to grab Nefertari or Sphinx, so it makes it really awkward later. It's honestly not that big of a deal, but it does make certain combo lines really awkward later on. This is why I think you really want to play Pumpkin because Pumpkin's honestly a really great engine for this deck. It gives you all the starters that you need for this deck, which is great. The downside about playing Pumpkin though is that you do have to play a couple more bricks. You have to play 2 more bricks in Chang'Chi and Call the Haunted, which is never good. I think that's honestly going to be the downfall about Zenet, is just all the bricks. When you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, having this many bricks is no good. If you want to play Zenet casually though and you don't care about all the bricks, this deck is going to be really fun. But for me, I'm a competitive player, and even if the deck I'm playing isn't top tier, I still want to play competitively. Competitive players really don't want to play 3 brick vanilla monsters. This deck honestly really needs a Link 1 monster that uses a normal monster as material. If they do so, I can honestly see this deck being pretty nice. The chance of that happening though is honestly really slim. They would have to lock the card really hard as well, because you're basically giving any deck that runs a normal monster you can summon a Link monster. They would basically have to make it so you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except non-effect monsters. Or maybe the card even has to lock you for the whole turn. If they make the card too generic, it's definitely going to be a problem. But that's honestly my thoughts on the Zenet archetype and the new spell card. If you guys want to use my deck list, go ahead, it's on the screen. But if you don't want to run my deck list, you can just build your own, it really doesn't matter. So that's it for me, hope you guys enjoyed this video, have a good one, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Take care guys, have a good one, see you later.